Welcome back, folks. So, today we're diving into some really intriguing geopolitical chatter. The latest buzz comes from Jeffrey Sachs, who's leaked some bombshell insights about a potential Ukraine deal that involves, well, none other than Putin and Trump, potentially right in Alaska before a meeting with Zelensky.
Yeah, wow. So, let me get this straight. We're talking about a secretive deal? Where both the US and Russia might be reaching an agreement behind closed doors? That's pretty dramatic.
Exactly. It's one of those headline grabbers. Sachs's reveal suggests that there was a discussion, potentially set in motion, before a high level gathering involving Trump, Zelensky, and European leaders after an Alaska summit.
Right. And what's interesting is that Sachs is pretty outspoken about the situation. He criticizes Zelensky, the US, and NATO over their handling of the Ukraine conflict, claiming that, well, Putin is actually winning in Ukraine.
Yeah, it's like imagine a chess match where one side seems to have all the pieces working together perfectly. Sachs, in his style, paints Putin as having the winning strategy, while also suggesting that the deal might be a way to de escalate the crisis. Or at least, that's the claim on the table.
Yeah. This kind of news really shakes up the usual narratives. It makes you wonder, was this deal ever truly on the table, or is it just another layer of geopolitical posturing?
Well, there's a lot to unpack here. Sachs, being an economist with a big following, tends to stir the pot, and his comments tend to push us to question the official stories. It's like he's suggesting that there might be a secret handshake between powers that, defies the public narrative.
Yeah, I get that vibe. But isn't it a bit too convenient to have such a high-profile clandestine deal be coupled with, a meeting in Alaska? I mean, Alaska is remote, right?
It's almost like using a secluded location to ensure privacy, which makes the whole thing even more dramatic. It's like in espionage novels, hidden summits where world leaders might iron out these deals without the usual media blitz.
Exactly. And Sachs doesn't hold back. He hurls some serious critiques, right? Criticizing not only Zelensky, but the US and NATO for their role in the Ukraine conflict. He even suggests that Zelensky's approach might be not the most effective.
That's right. And it's interesting because Sachs has been known to have some controversial takes on international politics. In his narrative, he seems to believe that President Putin is gaining the upper hand in Ukraine, which, as you might expect, runs counter to a lot of what we hear from Western analysts.
Right. But, I do have to say, isn't there something to be skeptical about? I mean, Sachs's viewpoint is very pointed. Could it be influenced by his overall ideological perspectives?
That's a fair challenge. It raises the question of bias, doesn't it? Some might argue that Sachs, with his long history of provocative statements, might be, framing the narrative to stir up controversy. But then again, controversial takes do get people talking and force a re-examination of the facts.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's the whole element of timing, the Alaska summit and the promise of a Trump-Zelensky meeting. It really gives the whole thing a sort of high-stakes thriller vibe.
Absolutely. It's like the plot of a political espionage movie. You've got high-level meetings, secret summits, and allegations of backroom deals that could potentially reshape the balance of power.
Right, yeah. How do you see this affecting actual policy or public perception? I mean, if more of these leaks come to light, won't that erode trust even further?
That's a valid point. Rumors and leaks like this often cause a ripple effect. They can, make the public more cynical about official narratives and lead to a whole lot of debate among policymakers. Plus, when influential figures like Sachs start throwing out these claims, it creates a media frenzy that sometimes obscures rather than clarifies the actual situation.
I see what you mean. And then you've got the added layer of geopolitical rivalry. If there really is a secret deal, how does that reshape the relationship between the US and Russia? It's a delicate balancing act.
Yes, it is. Imagine it like two heavyweight boxers in a ring trying to land clean hits, but at the same time, they might be agreeing behind closed doors to not go all out. It's almost paradoxical. the idea of an aggressive stance coupled with a quiet negotiation.
Exactly. And what about the European angle here? The inclusion of European leaders signals that this isn't just a bilateral issue. There's a broader international context that could potentially, reshape alliances.
Right, the European dimension is crucial. If European leaders are part of these discussions, then it means this deal, or at least the prospect of it, has ramifications that stretch far beyond just the US and Russia. It touches on the security architecture of Europe and the narrative around NATO's involvement in Ukraine.
True story. But here's something I find slightly perplexing. Sachs's assertion that Putin is winning in Ukraine, don't you think that's a bit of an oversimplification given the complex realities on the ground? It's like saying one move in a chess game decides the entire match.
You raise an excellent point. It's essentially a simplification to create a compelling narrative. The situation in Ukraine is highly complex and evolving. While there may be indicators of tactical advantages, to declare an outright victory for Putin ignores the multifaceted nature of the conflict.
Yeah, I agree. And considering Sachs's critique of the US and NATO, it seems he's pushing for perhaps a more nuanced approach to international diplomacy, one that might involve negotiating with the so-called adversary rather than continuing the traditional stance.
That's an interesting take. It's like he's hinting that maybe conventional strategies aren't working as well as hoped, and maybe there's room for back-channel diplomacy. But that approach, of course, has its own set of risks and ethical dilemmas.
Yeah. And we can't ignore the timing here. This alleged deal comes right as the White House is gearing up for a high-profile meeting between Trump and Zelensky. It's as if the global chessboard is shifting just when you think you've seen it all.
Absolutely. It's like the calm before the storm, or even the eye of a hurricane. Each new leak or revelation potentially alters the way international relations are perceived. It adds an extra layer of suspense to an already volatile situation.
Exactly. And there's also that media aspect, right? This leaked segment from a YouTube video by Times of India shows the power of modern digital media in rapidly spreading such claims, even if, the underlying facts might need more rigorous verification.
For sure. The online platforms can amplify these narratives quickly. And when you have millions of eyes already tuned into such dramatic content, the pressure builds. It forces policymakers and public figures to address issues they might have otherwise kept under wraps.
Now, while all this is happening, what do you think is the likelihood of actual policy change based on this supposed leak? Are leaders going to take major actions on the back of this? Or is it just more noise in an already crowded arena?
It could go either way. On one hand, these discussions might serve as a catalyst for behind-the-scenes negotiations. On the other, it might just be a rhetorical flourish designed to divert attention from more pressing issues. It's like a red herring, allegedly significant, but its actual impact remains to be seen.
That's a good point. I'm also curious about how this will influence public opinion. With Sachs's comments circulating so widely, especially on platforms like YouTube, will people start to doubt the established narratives about the Ukraine conflict?
Possibly. The power of a well-placed narrative in today's digital media can tilt public sentiment significantly. As more people get exposed to these alternative perspectives, it might lead to increased skepticism and a demand for more transparency from leaders. And that in itself can lead to policy shifts.
Indeed. Now, I have to say, while Sachs's take is provocative, isn't it a bit risky to bank so heavily on this narrative without solid evidence? How much credence can we really give to it?
That's a key critique. It's one thing to speculate and another to confirm. The leak, after all, is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. We need hard, substantiated facts to make definitive claims. So while it does stir debate, caution is definitely warranted here.
Absolutely. It all comes down to balancing narrative with verified information, doesn't it? One misstep in verifying these claims could lead to widespread misinformation.
Exactly. And that's why, even in these turbulent times, critical scrutiny of sources is essential. We must remain aware of potential biases while also acknowledging that such revelations push necessary debates about international policy and
Right on,
transparency.
yeah. So, in summing up, we have this alleged Alaska deal involving Trump and Putin, which might have been a secret effort to resolve the Ukraine crisis, wrapped up with Sachs's critical commentary on NATO, Zelensky, and the broader geopolitical picture. Quite a lot to chew on.
Absolutely. It's a high stakes, smoky realm of global politics where real power plays hide behind dramatic leaks and controversial opinions. Only time will tell if these discussions will lead to any tangible changes in policy or if it will remain just another spicy headline in the world's media.
Indeed. Well, I think that's a wrap for this session. Thanks for breaking that down with me. Always a pleasure to dive into these complex stories with such enthusiasm and depth.
Anytime. Until next time, keep questioning, keep digging, and keep watching those headlines.